Ladies and gentlemen, hear me right now, not with your ears only, but with your spirit. What would happen if you stopped treating your dreams like a hobby and started chasing them like $1 billion is attached to every step you take? What if your waking up in the morning felt like a war cry? What if your discipline became louder than your doubt? Because I'm here to tell you something prophetic. Your life changes the moment your urgency changes. The difference between average and greatness is not talent, it is intensity, it is fire, it is obsession with destiny. And today that fire gets ignited. Listen to me closely. Most people don't fail because they are weak, they fail because they are casual with their dreams. You treat your vision like it's optional, like it can wait, like tomorrow is guaranteed. But what if I told you your dream is already waiting for you at the level of your obsession? Hear me, if you went after your dreams like $1 billion was on the line, you would wake up earlier. You would move faster. You would cut distractions like a surgeon removes disease. You would stop entertaining people who are comfortable with mediocrity. Because billion-dollar energy does not hang around broke thinking. I need you to understand this spiritually. There is something sacred about urgency. There is something holy about discipline. When a man or woman becomes serious about their calling, heaven responds. The scripture says, faith without works is dead. And I'm telling you, dreams without urgency are also dead. You are not behind because you lack opportunity. You are behind because you lack intensity. Look at your life. You scroll like you have time. You procrastinate like you have time. You delay obedience like you have time. But I came to shake you awake. If it was $1 billion waiting for you at the finish line, you would not negotiate with laziness. You would not sleep through your assignment. You would not keep quitting when it gets hard. So why do you do it for your purpose? I declare over you today, this is the moment of awakening. Rise up like a builder of destiny. Move like heaven has invested in you because it has. Speak like a prophet of your future. Work like every hour matters because it does. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start moving like you are already chosen. Because when you pursue your dreams like they are worth $1 billion, life has no choice but to respond. Doors open, ideas come alive, and the version of you that you've been praying for finally shows up. Your dream responds to your urgency, not your intention. Listen to me, your dream is not confused you are. Your dream already knows what it is supposed to become. It is not sitting in heaven asking questions about you. It is not uncertain. It is waiting on one thing, your urgency, because intention is cheap. Everybody has intention. I want to be successful. I want to change my life. I want to do something big. Everybody says it. Everybody feels it. Everybody posts it. Everybody dreams it at night and forgets it in the morning. But urgency is different. Urgency is when your actions start screaming louder than your words. Urgency is when your alarm clock is not a suggestion, it is a command. Urgency is when you stop negotiating with distractions like they are your friends. Let me tell you something spiritual right now. In Scripture, when God called people, He didn't call them into intention. He called them into movement. Go, arise, do, and not think about it, not plan forever. Move, because heaven does not partner with hesitation. Heaven responds to obedience in motion, and I need you to feel this deep in your bones. Your dream is not waiting for your motivation. Motivation is emotional. It rises and falls. Motivation is not reliable. But urgency is identity. Urgency says, if I don't do this now, I am dishonoring what I was created for. Listen, the reason your life hasn't shifted is not because your dream is too big. It's because your urgency is too small. You treat destiny like it is on layaway, like you can pay it off in small, casual installments of effort whenever you feel like it. But greatness does not respond to convenience. It responds to pressure. It responds to consistency. It responds to fire in your belly that says, I cannot live like this anymore. Some of you are waiting for a sign, but I came to tell you the sign is your dissatisfaction. The sign is your frustration. The sign is that inner voice that keeps waking you up at night saying, there is more. That is not noise, that is calling. So hear me clearly, your dream is not delayed because God forgot you. Your dream is delayed because urgency has not arrived yet. The moment you become urgent, everything changes because urgency doesn't ask permission. Urgency takes territory. Billion-dollar focus destroys average level habits. And listen to me very carefully. You cannot carry a billion-dollar vision with broke level habits. It doesn't work like that. You keep praying for elevation while entertaining behaviors that belong to your old level. And I need you to hear this prophetically. Your habits are either building your future or burying it. There is no neutral ground because focus is not just what you look at. Focus is what you refuse to look at. When a person becomes serious, when they truly believe their life has value at a higher level, something shifts in them. They start eliminating things, not negotiating with them, eliminating them. Let me show you what billion-dollar focus looks like. It looks like cutting conversations that drain your spirit. It looks like deleting apps that steal your time and never give it back. It looks like saying no to good things so you can say yes to great things, because average habits are comfortable, but they are costly. They cost you time, they cost you momentum, they cost you destiny. Hear me, you don't fail suddenly. You fail slowly, through repeated small distractions that look harmless, but are silently assassinating your potential. And then one day you wake up and wonder, how did I get here? But it wasn't one big mistake. It was thousands of small permissions. Permission to scroll instead of study. Permission to sleep instead of build. Permission to quit instead of push. But billion-dollar focus does not operate like that. Billion-dollar focus is aggressive. It says, I don't have time for what does not produce results. It creates boundaries like wall. It protects time like treasure. It treats every hour like capital. And let me take you deeper spiritually. The scripture says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That means transformation is not emotional, it is mental discipline. It is focus reprogramming your life. So I need you to understand something. If your focus is scattered, your future will be delayed. But when your focus becomes laser sharp, when you decide, I am locking in on my assignment, everything around you starts to shift. People will call you different. They will say you changed. They will say you are too serious now. Good. Because seriousness is the doorway to success. You are not called to be comfortable. You are called to be committed. And billion-dollar focus will cost you average friends, average habits, and average thinking. But what it gives you is an above-average life. Heaven moves when discipline replaces delay. Listen to me. Delay is not just a habit. Delay is a spiritual resistance. Every time you say, I'll do it later, something in your destiny gets pushed back, not because God is unfaithful, but because you are unprepared to move when it's time to move. And I need you to feel this deeply. Heaven is not moved by wishes. Heaven is moved by discipline. There is a reason Scripture says, faith without works is dead. Because faith that never becomes discipline is just imagination. Hear me. You can pray all day for doors to open, but if your discipline is weak, you will stand outside the door you prayed for. God is not confused about your future, but he will not violate your lack of preparation. Let that sit in your spirit, because some of you are waiting for a breakthrough, but heaven is waiting for your consistency. You want acceleration, but you keep living in delay. You want elevation, but you keep postponing obedience, and I came to tell you delay is dangerous because it feels harmless. It feels like I'll do it tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes a lifestyle, and that lifestyle becomes a graveyard of unused potential. But discipline changes everything. Discipline says, I will do it whether I feel like it or not. Discipline is not emotional. Discipline is covenant with Your future, when discipline shows up, heaven responds differently, because now you are not just believing, you are building. Now you are not just speaking, you are executing. And I need you to understand this prophetic truth. There are blessings assigned to movement, not intention. God told Abraham, walk before me, and not sit, not wait. Walk. Movement attracts alignment. Discipline creates movement even when motivation dies. That is why successful people don't depend on feelings. They depend on systems, structure, obedience, and repetition. Hear me, the moment you replace delay with discipline, something breaks in the atmosphere of your life. Confusion leaves, procrastination loses authority, and momentum enters like a storm. And suddenly, you start seeing results you used to only pray for, because heaven honors order, heaven honors consistency, heaven honors the person who says, I will show up daily even when nobody claps for me. So I'm telling you right now, stop negotiating with delay. It is stealing your destiny quietly. Replace it with discipline, and when you do, heaven will not be silent about your life anymore. The life you want is locked behind intensity you avoid. Listen to me, there is a version of your life that you keep dreaming about, but you keep avoiding the price it requires. And I need you to understand something very clearly. Your dream is not far because it is impossible. Your dream is far because the version of you required to reach it is too intense for the habits you currently tolerate. Let that sink in. The life you want is not hiding, it is not lost, it is not unfairly distributed, it is locked. And the key is intensity, but intensity is exactly what most people avoid, because intensity feels uncomfortable. Intensity feels like pressure. Intensity feels like responsibility. It demands more than motivation. It demands identity change. You say you want greatness, but you avoid the heat that produces greatness. You want the body, but avoid the discipline. You want the business, but avoid the risk. You want the voice, but avoid the practice. You want the future, but avoid the fight. And I came to tell you prophetically, there is no hidden door. There is only avoided intensity. Listen, every level of your life has a required energy, and right now you are trying to access a higher level with a lower level effort. It does not work like that. You cannot carry championship results with casual preparation. You cannot expect elite outcomes while avoiding elite effort. Because intensity is the bridge, and most people stand at the edge of their destiny, not because they are not gifted, but because they refuse to step into the fire required to cross over. But hear me spiritually. The scripture says, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. That is not physical violence, that is spiritual intensity. It is a refusal to stay passive. It is a holy aggression toward destiny. So what is intensity? Intensity is when you stop flinching at difficulty. Intensity is when you push even when everything in you says stop. Intensity is when you decide, I will become the person my vision requires, not the person my comfort prefers. And yes, it will cost you. It will cost you sleep. It will cost you excuses. It will cost you relationships that feed your weakness. But what you gain is access. Access to discipline you never had. Access to results you only imagined. Access to a life that once looked impossible. So I'm telling you right now, stop avoiding intensity. Because every time you avoid it, you delay your own elevation. But the moment you embrace it, the locked life you've been praying for starts unlocking itself.